All right, guys. I can't not say too much about this right here. I think it was a great Royal Rumble. I really believe it was a great Royal Rumble. Yes, 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 it's your boy Big B, and this is Wrestling Forever. But my God, man, I really enjoyed the Royal Rumble. I think the Royal Rumble was a pretty damn good pay-per-view. And I'll get into the facts as I'm going along. But first of all, I gotta say, this ain't just about the Royal Rumble. I also got to talk about WWE Icons first episode, Yokozuna. God, man, that was an awesome documentary. I love that documentary. I don't know if a lot of people in the now generation really understands who Yokozuna was, but see, when I was a little kid around the age of my late twos, and I was like 3 and 4, and going into my later years as a young child, before I was reaching the preteens and teens, people like Yokozuna were people that I was watching. God, that guy was so magnificent, man. That guy was that man was a sight to behold, man. I mean, like, and I didn't even know. I mean, I don't think a lot of people really knew until like later on in the years that Undertaker and Yokozuna was best friends. But then once you found out, but I found out a long time ago that Undertaker was best friend Yokozuna. But when you found out, it kind of made sense on the reason why those guys were so awesome in the ring together during those days. And I mean, I still to this day feel so sorry for the family, man. They lost a real great person, man. He was a very all the stories and all the videos you see of him and everything else, and this how he acted around people. He was one humble man, and he was very great. He was a great person, big heart. I mean, probably one of the biggest hearts in the entire wrestling business. He probably had one of the biggest hearts, but one thing I always learned from losses that I lost in my family, is that if you can look back and you have a massive load of good memories, then you do bad memories, then even if you lost that loved one, it was at least you know that you can talk so well about them without having to lie or anything. You can just literally talk so well just about how much they were a massive impact in your life and other people's lives that revolved around him or her. And from what you hear from the Yokozuna stories, I mean, there was probably an unlimited amount of great memories with him. So I'm just happy that they get to also acknowledge that they can always tell everybody how great of a person he was, because that's one of the most absolute things you really want every people to know is that, and that you want to know yourselves, that even if you lost that person even way before they should have ever left, that they really left a great presence on the world or the people that they knew. That at the same time is just as powerful. And like as always, R.I.P. Yoko, one of the absolute greatest big men ever. That guy was awesome. And man, if you haven't watched the documentary, watch it. I'm telling you, it's worth the whole hour and 18 minutes. I'm telling you, it was a great documentary. I really, man, I don't know if these other documentaries are going to match up to this one. This was a powerful punch, boy. This is. I know this ain't no competition because we love all the documentaries. Are going to be great ones, I believe. But it's just, man, that was a strong one coming out, boy. That was awesome. So I'm just gonna stop it at there. Man, loved it. Can't wait for the next episodes to come out. I'm super psyched about WWE Icons. Love Yokozuna. Yokozuna was one of the absolute best. And to the Royal Rumble. And woo-wee, my God. I was almost 100% right with every match. Every single match. I'm telling you, I think, what was it all together? Like 6 matches? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, it was 6 altogether. Yeah, it was 5 on the paper, on the card, on the regular card, and 1 on kickoff. And like, oh my God, man, I mean, like, I was just like spot on with a lot of the stuff that was going on. Because at the same time, I'll tell you that I didn't get right with the men's Royal Rumble, because at first I was going for Keith Lee, but he's still missing. No one can find him. And it was like, man, like, I mean, we now kind of know because of the COVID thing. So at least we know he's, at first we couldn't find him. So, it's good that we know who he is now. So yeah, that's a good thing. I'm sorry about that. It sucks, but like I said, there's still the Elimination Chamber. So either Daniel Bryan or Keith Lee, whatever, I don't know, but I think the main event for Raw is over. I think it's going to be a SmackDown Elimination Chamber match, but Daniel Bryan can still win that Elimination Chamber and still go on to WrestleMania. So you never know. But literally, it all started off. I mean, it was pretty decent. I figured that they were going to have to do some kind of grimy thing to get the titles off of Charlotte Flair and Asuka, but I figured they were going to lose the titles on this night. So literally they start off in the kickoff. In the kickoff, they had the Women's Tag Team Championship match with Asuka and Charlotte Flair going toe-to-toe with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. It was a pretty good match all around. And then, of course, Ric Flair had to come out, and Lacey Evans came out, and then they did grimy stuff. Lacey Evans tried to stop it the first time by pulling Charlotte Flair's arms out from underneath her while she was doing the figure eight. Then Charlotte her like, boy, I'm gonna kill you. You come in, don't touch me no more, bitch. And then at the same time, Ric Flair didn't like that, so he went over there, checked on Lacey Evans, and handed her a ring. And then when Charlotte was going back for the figure eight again, then she just gave her the women's right, and that's what practically ended that match for Charlotte and Asuka. And so yeah, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are tag team champions again, and yeah, I don't know what they got planned for Charlotte this year for WrestleMania. I don't know what they got planned for her, but man, I know sure the hell ain't gonna be with Asuka because no. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be Bianca going against Asuka. Bianca's no. Actually, no, my bad. The Raw one's still open, but I really think that it's gonna be somebody because Charlotte Flair, they're moving as a babyface, so I really don't think that she's going to be the one that's going to go toe-to-toe with Asuka. So, I'm pretty sure Asuka's probably going to go up against Alexa Bliss, or she's going to be going up against Rhea Ripley, or somebody that's going to be up there in the main roster. And but anyway, yes, the Women's Tag Team Championships, they changed hands. They changed hands on this night. Now I'm going to get to the one that everybody was waiting for just so we can get that crap over with was the Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. They started that right off the bat for the opening match in the Royal Rumble. I was happy about that because I would have been able to enjoy Royal Rumble until that stuff was over, and I was glad that they got that over because I'm telling you, boy, I was going to be absolutely livid if they had it with Drew lost. But thankfully, they had a good physical match, but thankfully, Drew McIntyre came out on top, and he also got respect from Goldberg. Goldberg shook his hand, hugged him, told him that, he passed the test and everything else like that. So, all in all, it was a good, just a good respect match of saying, yo, man, you made it. This is definitely your time, even though we've already known that for a year or so. But you know what? He gave him his respects, everything else. We moved on from it. Thank God. Because I was like, man, they do my boy Drew dirty, boy, after all this time. And after Brock Lesnar done busted his ass off to make Drew look badass and even let Drew beat him within 5 minutes in a match, even faster than what Seth Rollins beat him, man, don't give me that. Don't give me that. It was like, man, so yeah. Thank God he keeps it. So most likely, hopefully, he carries it all the way to WrestleMania. I don't even care when they cash the Money in the Bank and they fail. I hope the hell that shit fails. That Money in the Bank briefcase thing was just ruined this year. Screw that. We just wait for the next one to come. We just go off of that. Literally saw and all moving off. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I'm trying to rush everybody, but yeah, okay. So all in all, next to that one, I think was the Sasha Banks versus Carmella. And I mean, we knew there was like an added match just to make the card full because literally, there was no proper build-up for Carmella and Sasha again. All they had, it was just like, Sasha just came up like, you know what? I'll give you a title match. I'll give you the title match as long as I get your boy Reginald in the damn ring. If I can get him, then I'll give you your match. Like, what kind of shit is that? But anyway, I still love Sasha, though. Sasha's awesome. Anyway, but I think everybody that had common sense knew damn well Carmella wasn't winning that title. But all in all, one thing I will say though, man, call me Graves nigga. We know you like Carmella. We know you're dating her. Jesus Lord. Well, I mean, at least Jerry Lawler, even if he was dating one of the freaking women in the back, Jesus God, at least he treated all the women in the equivalent way of how much he thought all of them were sexy as heck. But boy, Jesus God, boy. So when Carmella come out, boy, he had like a fucking like a love struck. You know, oh, nothing that she does is wrong. Oh, I love her. I love everything. Oh my God, like shut up, boy. You're more of an ass kisser than Michael Cole was when he was always best buddies with Miz. I'm like, come on, man. Like, Jesus, shut up. My God, boy, that stuff's annoying. But anyway. It was still a pretty good, decent match, all in all. But at the same time, Sasha Banks retained because she should be going into WrestleMania as women's champion. That should not change, and I'm glad that they're not changing it. Jesus, Lord, thank you. Then we went to the women's Royal Rumble match, and I gotta say, boy, we got some throwbacks in there, didn't we, boy? We got what, Jillian Hall? That was funny to me. We had Alicia Fox. Of course, they brought Mickie James back for that night. They gave us Tori Wilson. And of course we got Victoria. Like, oh my God, we got Victoria. And it was like, oh, it was great. And then of course we had some NXT ones like Dakota Kai and Toni Storm and Ember Moon. And then of course Rhea Ripley, that we already know, was already moved up to the main roster. They just haven't showed her on the regular storyline of Raw yet. And then also Shotzi Blackheart. Oh, they did my girl Shotzi dirty tonight. But at the same time, it's all right. It was just, most of the time when the NXT girls get put in there, not only are they just added, but the ones that they get put in there are the ones that usually tell you, yo, look out for them this year, because this year they're really gonna be the show stealers. And so I was literally all happy about that. So I was like, you know what, man, that's cool. That just shows you that Shotzi Blackheart is totally one of the most liked superstars on the NXT roster right now. I surely love Shotzi Blackheart like crazy. I already think she's ready for the main roster. I think you give her anything, she's gonna blow out the water. I really dig Shotzi Blackheart. I like Shotzi Blackheart. But anyway, there was still an all-in-all good match. I'm trying to remember who was the absolute final four. I know it was Bianca Belair. I know it was Rhea Ripley. I know it was Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and I think was it Nia? Was it Nia? I can't remember. I'm sorry, man. I didn't write it down when I was watching it, but all I know is that the final three. I'll just say the final three. The final three was Charlotte Flair, it was Rhea Ripley, and it was Bianca Belair. I think all in all, they did the show great, the whole match great. I really enjoyed it. It was cool that they actually let the two rising stars that people are totally on right now, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, be the final two. So I know people can't sit there and complain about Charlotte Flair trying to take all the spotlight, because look, she just gave it up right there too. So it's not like she don't really believe in the future of the business. And so, I mean, it was great. I think they good on the great Slugfest. Bianca Belair, we were so right about that. All of us were saying, man, Bianca Belair going to win the Royal Rumble in 2021. Man, we were just seeing that throughout the whole year of 2020 when she was on the main roster. That was just great. I loved it. Loved every aspect of it. It was believable. It was favored by everybody. I loved it. Now I give that one a thumbs up. I love that Royal Rumble match. There wasn't really too much. There was a lot of fun parts and everything else, so I just really gave it his props. And then we went on to the Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens last man standing match for the Universal Championship. And I really liked that match. I mean, one thing I can always say now is that, man, you put Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns together, they know how to steal a show. They put on a great showing. I know that the end of the match. I know at the end of the match, it looked a little they lackadaisical a little bit, but a lackadaisical effort because for some reason the key wasn't working on the handcuffs. But I still think literally what they were working with, I think they still pulled it off pretty decent. Kevin Owens kind of was like playing it like if all the stuff that was happening throughout the match was starting to take its toll to the point where he could not get back in the game like he really was doing. But all in all, I still really liked the match. I kind of understood that the key was not working on those cuffs. Sometimes crap happens, but you know what? At the same time, it didn't take nothing away from that match, in my point of view. I'm pretty sure some people it did, but to me, literally, it didn't take nothing away from the match because those guys beat the holy hell out of each other. I mean, we had a damn hit, and we had a hit. I mean, Roman Reigns ran Kevin Owens' ass over. Kevin Owens using a crane to freaking jump off the damn thing onto freaking Roman Reigns on like some big ass box crate. wherever the hell it was, or this might have just been a bunch of tables. Boy, Kevin Owens got thrown off a higher version of the balcony area where all the screens were at to the tables again, like he did several weeks ago. To me, it was great. They literally went all out. I mean, especially this is supposed to be their last match for the world title together. I think they just really beat the holy living daylights out of each other. I truly enjoyed it. I don't really see any problems whatsoever on what really went down. I'm not going to give it a 5-star because of the lackadaisical ending, but I'm sure the hell ain't going to give it any lower than a 4 because I really think that match was pretty darn good. I will still watch that match. I really, there wasn't a part in that match where I was sitting like, oh my God, I wish it was in, you know. It was pretty good. I mean, mostly all the matches tonight was practically worth watching. Like, I wasn't really tired of watching any of the matches. If only they could get energy like that throughout the Raws and SmackDowns all the time, I mean, Raw WWE would be a whole lot better, but, you know, I don't know what the heck happened. I mean, in the Royal Rumble, everything was going smooth, but the Raw and SmackDown go-home show episodes was just terrible. Especially Raw. I mean, I'll say SmackDown was 50-50, like I said before. But anyway, we went to the Men's Royal Rumble. Oh, my God. They actually, you know what, man? Like I said, they had Edge out as first. Edge was first, and Randy Orton was second. And I really like that. I love it when they start off Royal Rumble with the grudge match that had happened a year prior and everything else like that. Because just like how they did Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at Royal Rumble 2008, when Undertaker had eliminated Shawn Michaels last in the 2007 Royal Rumble, and then the 2008 Royal Rumble, they had those two guys started off, and people were like, oh my God, the two that ended off last year's Royal Rumble are beginning it off this year. You know, that was great. And I really like that because they're kind of like slowly burning that out, you know, getting that out of the way because Randy still got his priorities with Bray. And now they're focusing Edge more into a different storyline angle right now. They could always go back to Randy Orton Edge another time. They might have it where they might meet up again in the way to the WrestleMania. But, you know, but literally, we saw some lights of like my boy Christian came back. I was happy. And then Carlito came out before him. You know, I was like, man, that's great. That was great. I was like, Carlito came out for this. So he didn't come for the Legends Raw, but you know what? Thank God, because this was so much more worth it. It was so much more worth it, and it was great to see him back. He looks great, you know, for a man that he ain't seen in a long time. So he's still keeping himself in great shape and stuff over there in Puerto Rico. I'm happy about that. If we ever get to see him some more, it'll be great. Whatever happens, man, I've always been a fan of Carlito, so I'm all for that if he does anything else. Along with that, like I said, my boy Christian, I don't know if he's 100% back, but all I know is that he was sure the hell was wrestling like his young self, boy, in that match, and he was looking great. So even if he does get that one last match at the WrestleMania or one before WrestleMania, I don't care. I mean, if we could get someone like Christian back, even for a small amount of time, boy, that would totally just help ratings out for WWE because they need all the help they can get. They got respiratory problems, and trust me, I know how respiratory problems are. I have bronchial asthma. It might be dormant right now for the last 10, 15 years, but trust me, the years that I had it, man, you might as well think that I had it for about 30 years because I'm telling you, that was hell, man. Bronchial asthma is one of the worst torments when it comes to respiratory problems. Trust me, it is hell. It's up there with leukemia. It's up there with bronchitis, all that crap. Those things are terrible. And bronchial asthma is the worst because, you know, bronchial asthma, at least in bronchitis, you can get over that. You can find a way to cure that. And bronchial asthma, man, and when you get hit with that, man, your windpipe closes and stuff, man. Like it closes. Not just your lungs start to shut down on you a little bit and everything else, but your windpipe starts to tighten up. It closes. It starts to restrict itself, and it starts causing constriction and everything in there, stress and strain. You can't get no air whatsoever. You gotta get put on this nasty ass fucking asthma machine. It's terrible. I swear to God, man, once you do that, you would never want to smoke or everything, because that shit is nasty. And I had to do that stuff mostly every day or every other day. I know it. But anyway, it was great to me. Loved it. I was happy for my boy Damian Priest from NXT. He got a great showing tonight. Riddle did a good job. I was glad that he was one of the Final Four. That was cool. I mean, he was not the one. No. He was the one in the final. He was the final five, my bad. He's the one that got eliminated out before it was Seth Rollins. Thank God he's back. That was cool to see him back. We definitely need him back. Need some more intrigues and storylines. So Seth Rollins is back. Braun Strowman was the last one to come out. So we had Strowman. We had Edge. We had Strowman, Edge, Christian, and was it Strowman, Edge, Christian, and Seth Rollins? I think so. Yeah. Because Christian got thrown over along with Braun Strowman, and then all the other stuff. But oh man, the way they did that last thing, because Edge was in there from moment one and all the way out, and then and he lasted all to the end, and everybody had that all, because everybody was like, man, I know Randy Orton going to slip it back. Randy Orton always slips his back. He ain't going to stay out for too long. And boy, when he came out, everybody was like, oh no, boy, it's about to get screwed over by Randy Orton again. Next thing you know, boy, he turned it back on him. He took an RKO. He about to get thrown over. He turned it on him and threw Randy out. Boy, that was magnificent. That was a perfect way to end that match in that way, because it made you one second like, oh my God, it's just going to be thrown over. And it was like, oh my God, he's throwing him over. It was great to me. I was like, oh man, everybody, me and my brothers, we were all just sitting there, like, and my mom too. We were all just sitting like, oh my God, he got RKOs. Damn it. No. Boy, I loved it. I understand that people wanted Daniel Bryan to win, but at the same time, think about it. I mean, Daniel Bryan would have been a great win, but at the same time, man, Edge was healed up. I know people are going to say like, man, he didn't have no build up. Does he really need a build up? What he was doing was simplistic. He only needed to say that once. I don't really want to hear Edge come out for 5 weeks saying the same thing over and over again. Oh, I want to go to the Royal Rumble, and I want to get back where I never lost. I want to get my chance at WrestleMania and go back there and get the championship. Like, I don't want to hear that every week. When I get there. No. He came out, he did one promo, and yeah, they could have built up to saying when he was going to come there or address us about it. But you know what? It's fine to me. Because Edge, to me, still killed the promo note to where you be like, you know what? I can feel that. And you know what? At first, I didn't really think, I knew that he was probably going to last to a good extent, but I didn't really think that at first he was going to go to the end. But you know what? I can dig it. At the same time, that's a better storyline literally to me than the Daniel Bryan one. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. It's the truth. Daniel Bryan, okay, yes, it's a great one, but Daniel Bryan already came back. Daniel Bryan defended the championship. Yeah, he might not have won the Royal Rumble, but Daniel Bryan's already had his championship match at WrestleMania again, and this time he helped over Kofi Kingston. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he already came back. He already had a dominant year. He already did his thing. This is a perfect time. Literally, we know that Edge is on borrowed time, but at the same time, Edge still has the damn it factor. It's not like he really slagged off. He just had an unfortunate bicep injury. Okay, that happens a lot to a lot of superstars. That happens even to the young ones. Okay, it was a slight mishap, but at the end of the day, he's back. And there's nobody, and literally with that storyline, especially with Keith Lee out, there's nobody else better to take that storyline. Literally, there's nobody else. That was the perfect storyline. There's nothing better in a storyline than a person that was denied their dream. And I mean, people can't say anything about it. I mean, didn't Daniel Bryan just do that stuff like several years ago for WrestleMania when he was told that he would never wrestle again? And then he came back a little over 2.5 years later, almost 3 years. He came back, and all of a sudden now we're seeing him at every WrestleMania that comes up. He's wrestling for us. He's giving us dream matches that we didn't ever get to see, that we thought we were never going to see. Okay, so he did it, so why can't it work for Edge? Edge is the perfect guy to go for it. I mean, it's awesome. I really think it's awesome. And I ain't saying that it has to be a one-on-one match. It could end up being a triple threat. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to go? But at the same time, Daniel Bryan might not have won the Royal Rumble. There's still the Elimination Chamber. And you know there's going to be a SmackDown Elimination Chamber match to see who's going to become number one contender for Roman Reigns' championship. So at the end of the day, I am not stressing about it. Because at the same time, Daniel Bryan could win. And I understand people are like, man, but I want to see win the Rumble. You know what? Literally, there's a lot of people you want to see win the Royal Rumble that you think can become a great success. But at the same time, even a lot of the greats from the past, in the 90s and the early 2000s, and even in the 2010s, there were superstars that were magnificent that never won the Royal Rumble match. It's all right. It's a great accolade to have on your belt, but you really don't really need it on your accolade for you to be a major success. I mean, come on. It's a great success to have, but I really think that was a great ending. I think that was stupendous. I mean, one thing I love more than anything else in the world is a scratch and claw of I was denied a chance at a championship, at retaining my championship and keeping it and going on for my career on my terms. And I don't ever want to see any person who has a great career and what they do have to get cut off and get taken away from their dreams against their wishes because of major injuries and precautions, so they get their damn dreams stripped away from them. That sucks. Especially if you finally make it there, you deserve to live it if you're doing it. And Edge did it right, but he had a lot of injuries. But at the same time, he got to come back. He got that second chance, and he's going for it. It's a perfect thing. He's going back for a championship he never lost. He never lost it. He had to vacate it due to injury. Even though he was hurt, he was still acting like he was in his prime. So now that he's healed up to the point where he doesn't really feel too much pain or nothing like that, he can actually go the mile again. This to me is the perfect time. I want to see this. This is a moment that I like to see. I love the scratch and claw ones. So I'm all for it. So I know a lot of people might be mad because Daniel Bryan didn't win, but you know what? To me, that was a massive ending. I'm giving both Royal Rumble matches 5 stars. I thought both the men's and the women's endings and the people that won it, I think they literally was a great picks. Because, like I said, I picked Daniel Bryan because Keith Lee wasn't in it due to the COVID problem. So because of that situation with his girl, that they couldn't take the chance with him being in there, I switched to Daniel Bryan. But at the end of the day, it didn't even really occur to me at first. I was like, but you know what? Literally, this is the perfect thing because with Edge in there now, he's never lost that championship. He never lost the world championship. He had to vacate it against his own wishes. But now he got a chance to end his career on his own terms. No matter how long it is. It could be another year, another 2 years, maybe 3 years. He might go on for another 5 years, do a miraculous damn career like Shawn Michaels. Who knows? But at the same time, he gets to end it on his terms. And I love that better than anything. There's nothing better than going out on your own terms. You walking into the sunset and saying, you know what, I ended the way I want to do it. I love that. And I'm actually eager to see it. I would love to see a Drew McIntyre versus Edge. I think that would be magnificent. So literally all in all, yeah, I carried on a little bit longer. But you know what? All in all, I really enjoyed Royal Rumble. I thought all the endings was pretty damn good. They kept Asuka and Charlotte still looking strong. Shane and them got it back. Still all in all, I loved how they did with Sasha. I'm sorry. I love what they did with Roman and Kevin. I thought that match was pretty damn great. I'm glad that Drew got the retain, so we didn't have to do no damn deja vu bullcrap. Next time, thank you. And all in all, both the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches were great matches. I really think I'm gonna give Royal Rumble a 5-star. I'm going to give it a 5-star no matter what. I really loved it. I would watch that pay-per-view over again with no problem. I enjoyed it. All in all, let me know what you guys thought of the Royal Rumble. Leave your comments down below. I would truly love to hear your thoughts on the matter. I was 5-1. I want to know exactly what your predictions were. Were you 6-0? Were you 4-2? I don't know. I would love to see that too. At the same time, if you ain't subscribed, join the family, baby. Trust me, we got plenty of room. Plenty of room. You're all the more welcome to come and join us. The more the merrier. Same time, share this video. God, I would love it if you guys share this video. Man, I'm just pulling my comments out there like everybody else, but at the same time, you never know. Along with it, hit that bell for future videos like this. And as always, oh my God. Wrestling's forever. Be safe. One love.